Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am the Wombat of DM, and you are in session 17 of our ongoing campaign to rid the world of water.
Burn
Be
this whole city
be
to the ground.
to be whatever we want to be and hunt down shadows, I guess. Right. With me, our fine companions are Belzian the half elf monk,
Hello.
Roger the elf rogue, Ulrich the human paladin,
Howdy.
Yarvik, the Halfling Ranger,
Yo.
Zippo, the Kobold Warlock Sorcerer,
Woo woo.
and Jordan, the Human Bard. And together they form the Forest Fire Starters.
I accept that title.
Name pending.
Name pending.
Only you can prevent us.
Can you though?
They wish.
I want a
Um,
Smoky Bear hat next.
So there's been a lot that has happened in this campaign so far, and if you haven't watched through the campaign so far, I can't summarize all of it in just one couple sentences. So I'll just summarize last session, which was mainly us exploring the capital city, Jane, which is where we are right now, which turns out has a lot to do because it's a ginormous city, as you can see on the map. Ulrich met with the captain of the guard and had some blunders, misidentifying some of his party, both intentionally and not intentionally, as well as misidentifying a certain person that they are chasing. Belzian and Zippo gathered pieces of a water spirit that is trapped in several of the fountains in the city. Yarvik pub crawled through the lows, searching for answers and sausage, blundering into a funeral in the process, and securing zebra meat. And Roger met with a secret society that he's a part of to get information and procured both fine clothes as well as commissioned a potential magic item that might be useful in the future. Jordan, question mark, did shenanigans, question mark, and secured lodging at Majestic Apples, which he just messaged the party about. Most of the party is down at the Lowe's. Yarvik has entered Majestic Apples as he was already on the Gold District when Jordan answered. So right now, the party is mostly together. We are less split than we were last session, but I anticipate that will not last long. So, it being about 5:30 p.m., like between 5:30 and 6 p.m. on the day that you've arrived in Jane, I leave it to you, fine folk, to tell me what you're gonna do.
Just to confirm, how many pieces of the water elemental do I have?
So, if you look on the map, the fountain that you've been collecting the pieces at
Oh, it has markers.
has 4 markers on it. For some reason, they've been slimmed down substantially. But I've also marked the other fountains, the other areas that you thought there might be water elementals at. In fact, if you guys look at the map, I have marked any location that you've been to and identified or know of. So, for example, the palace and the cathedral are both marked, even though you haven't been there. And Breakwater is marked as well. So, any of the taverns that you've been to, I have labeled in yellow, and then any Carls that has been discovered are marked with a K.
Okay. Alright. Well, remember the last time I think when we left off that what's-his-face, that dirty, no-good, slandering traitor of a guard captain was coming towards this fountain? If I remember correctly.
Very trustworthy guard captain.
No. Incorrect. Wrong assumption. Wrong words.
Last
He seems
time,
like an okay guy.
Ulrich talked to the captain. The captain said if Ulrich needed him, he would be available at the barracks or leave word for where he was. and that's pretty much all you know about his whereabouts. There wasn't any like warning of him coming to the fountain at the moment.
Okay. Okay, so it's like 5. We only have 1 barrel to get pieces with. It'll take a while to get that water elementals back down from the gold district to the foreigns. I guess we could probably rest for the night. I don't see why not. That way I can go tomorrow and get the one out of the palace as well and just complete it all in one day instead of, trying
Wait, did you say there was one in the gold district?
There's 2 in the gold district, if my assumption is correct.
And where is our lodging for the evening?
It's past those 2, actually.
And yeah, just to clarify, Yarvik, you might notice a slight change to where Majestic Apples was. I actually mislabeled it earlier.
Yeah, so because Majestic Apples was right near where the Harls. I met Harl where Harls was, but it's on the other side now.
How's
Yeah.
Harl?
Occasionally.
So,
Occasionally.
Is
yeah,
Majestic Apples
it's
our lodging that Jordan secured?
yes.
Okay.
So basically, Jordan messaged everyone while you were down here collecting the last piece at the lows of the water spirit, and we basically ended session with you guys at the large fountain, with Zippo dropping off the 4th piece.
Yeah. So I say we rest for the night. That way we wake up in the morning, we can get 2 more barrels and get all 3 in one go and take them back down to the fountain and get my water elemental best friend out of here.
All right. I mean, Ulrich can go talk with Marius and just see if he can get a stay on what they were going to do.
Okay.
As far as attacking the fountains, let them know that because we can't get into the palace this evening, there is a fountain there. Everything's safe. It's a harmless thing. It's like moving a bug.
All right, so that's what Ulrich would like to do. Zippo would like to go to sleep. How about Roger, Belzian, and Yarvik?
I'm
Since
kind of interested in the water spirit thing. I kind of want to get in. I think Yarvik is interested in the water spirit, but I since Zippo's going to bed, I'll chill out. I'll feast on my sausage and wait for more information on the water spirit quest.
Well, so you haven't actually met up with the group yet, so I'm assuming that the group's going to need to meet up first and then discuss things with you. But while you're at Majestic Apples, you do know that your sausage is currently raw, so you'll need to get it cooked.
True. So I will approach the barkeep there and ask if the kitchen could prepare my wonderful raw assortment of sausage.
The innkeeper kind of looks at you wryly, like, you really want us to cook your food instead of our food?
But it is the very finest sausage. I would be definitely willing to share a portion of my delicious sausage. I wouldn't even charge you for it.
You know what? I'm feeling generous today. Give me a persuasion check. He is amenable to this and takes a... How much of sausage are you giving him?
I need to cook all the raw stuff. So I think I had 9 links of various kinds of sausage. So we will go ahead and provide him with 9 links of sausage.
Yeah, you had 2 chains of... one of elk and one of zebra, right? Or...
Yeah, 2
sausage.
Yeah.
So he carefully he takes some cloth and takes the raw meat from you and like goes back into the kitchen, and somebody else comes out to start tending the bar while he goes to cook. All right, so that's what Yarvik is hanging out and doing up at Majestic Apples. So Zippo, you're heading straight up after you drop off Water Spirit number 4, correct?
Yeah, I'll drop it off and then I'll hit up. And before I go to Majestic Apples, I'll stop at both the fountains to confirm that there is a water spirit there.
Okay, so you stop by the water fountains, and you kind of like put your ear to the water to like listen for any drowning spirit. And you hear the fountain say to you, "Hi, how are you? Are you a friend? Hi, can you help me?"
You're very more talkative than your other counterparts.
You know me? You know me? Have you met me?
Yeah, I've met 4 of you so far.
Oh, 4 of me. Oh boy. Can you help me meet them?
At the moment, I have to get something else, but my plan is right now in the morning to collect the last 3 of you and connect you all together.
Oh. Okay, I'll see you soon.
See you soon, buddy. That is great.
Where is this one?
It's the right one here, up in front of the cathedral, which towers in front of the fountain, or in front of the pond, the pool here. The cathedral is. I know you're like super interested in this fountain, but like as you're like heading over to the other one, you like realize just how big this thing is compared to you. It's like massive and ancient. It looks older than most of the buildings that are in the city. It looks almost like the whole cathedral was carved out of the cliff that used to be there. Like it wasn't built, it was. Have you ever heard of sculptors who like chisel marble and find the sculpture within? I've always found that concept so cool of a description for like when sculptors describe it that way. This looks like that. This cathedral. It looks like it's all one piece of stone. Like there's no blocks that constructed it. It's all carved stone, formed stone.
I'd probably burst if I went in there. It being something, I'm assuming cathedral means God related.
Yeah, it's the Church of the 12. It's the like main church.
Yeah, me being, sold my soul and also worshiping a dragon instead of them, I probably shouldn't go into a church.
Unless
You
all
never
12
know.
are dragons, you never know.
That is a possibility. Probably not a high one, though.
On the contrary, aren't dragons usually pretty high?
Yeah, but the dragons wouldn't confine themselves to being, known as the 12 and not describe themselves. They're too almighty for that.
Fair enough.
My kobold friend's got it all worked out. I'm really hoping that I swear on everything, if we go into this palace and the water spirit in the palace is uptight, I'm gonna have problems. And then because if like I go to pick it up and it's like, hey, you better, I'm gonna be like, listen, I didn't have to help you. I'm helping you kindly. Lose the attitude, We're best friends. Me and your other 6 counterparts are best friends. I hate to hate just one part of you. And also while I'm like thinking about this, and like as the character, not as the player, not as Zippo, but like this could go really bad if this thing just takes after like one of the down ones. It's like, yeah, I hate this city, so it's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which is why I'd like to rejoin them outside of the city walls, please.
Yeah, but as the character, I gotta throw them together in one place at the same time. I don't want to have to rip them back apart. That'd just be mean. Like, oh, I helped you connect. Now get back apart.
Yeah.
And I'm just ready to hear Jordan's escape plan also, because I remember telling him I need one of those in case this captain of the guard gets really frisky.
All right. So do you go to the other pool?
Yeah.
Okay. You lean
I'll
your
reach in
ear
and be
in.
like, "Hi, hello."
Who dares disturb me?
All right, listen here, bud. You got to act like your other counterpart over there that's real nice and friendly with me. All right. I'm putting you together. You need to be kind.
You're not me.
No, I'm not you. I'm putting you together. There's like 7 pieces of you, 7 fountains. I've put 4 of you together so far. I know where the other 3 are.
Make it quick.
With that attitude, I'm gonna make it take for longer.
The fountain just begins bubbling angrily.
Don't be trying to throw no temper tantrum now, all right? You'll be the last piece I put together if you keep acting up.
It doesn't make a difference that. In fact, if anything, the water darkens just similarly to the first one, and grows quiet.
As we're walking away, I'm assuming like Belzian, one of them is with me.
I
I have no idea.
if Belzian followed you,
Yeah, Belzian's staring at you, talking to water, like, what the heck?
You're like, all right, listen, Belzian, this one right here's got an attitude problem, all right?
How can you tell that this water's different than the other water?
Because it has an attitude. Can you not speak to water?
No.
That's why I should just, let me just help you, all right, Belzian. You got to come with me. I'll teach you the ways of the dragons. You'll be able to do it immediately.
Zippo, you should jump in there and wrestle it to show him who's boss.
I don't need to wrestle to show who's boss. I'm the one putting it together. I could leave it here for 2-3 days longer if I wanted to.
You don't need to, but you want to.
Actually, I'd really like to go to sleep. I'm kind of tired, It's been a long day of putting water spirits together.
Wouldn't a nice bath help before you do that?
Not really, I kind of like dirt and mud more than I do baths. And fire.
That's fair.
And you could talk to water anyways, so I don't know why you're trying to question me.
I'm just suggesting that maybe you could show it a little bit of physical force to do it with your good intentions.
Yeah, I don't need to do that. I'm not a physical man. I'm a magic man,
Oh, I'll wrestle the water if you want. I'll grapple it. I'll sit on it.
Go for it. I believe in you. See, Zippo, Belzian's going to show you up.
I don't know.
Are you too chicken? Maybe
Can I-
maybe the water's too deep.
Can I pick up Zippo and jump in the water with Zippo?
you can make a strength check. And if Zippo's unwilling, he'll have to make an opposed strength check.
Oh, that should
Come on in, the water's fine.
Let's test it. What of you roll? You said just strength?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
What it's
Super
worth,
strength,
Ulrich has already gone
Dang it!
towards Marius.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he won't know the difference, Roger.
The important part is that Zippo is going to complain to you about it later.
All right. So Zippo
Yeah.
has been grappled, and Belzian, I assume, jumps into the fountain.
No, I just hold him above the water.
Oh, okay.
You want to go for a swim, little buddy? What's the water saying now?
Probably still nothing.
It's the circle of fountain.
Well, it would perhaps be too cruel to just give you, a swirly right now. So I won't put Zippo in the pool.
Zippo, for a moment, you get just boosted into the air by Belzian before he thinks better of it and puts you back down.
Yeah.
Whee!
Okay. Now, back to what I was doing. I got to go get Jordan's escape plan also in case this, because now that I'm thinking about it, this could go mega south with that really, bad attitude side. So like if that one tries to come out more than the nice ones do, we're gonna need an escape plan also because the city's probably not gonna like us very much.
Yeah, it seems like every piece of the spirit was a different emotion now that you think about it.
So it's like that episode in Teen Titans where Raven got hit with that beam and like had all the different color cloaks for each emotion.
I was thinking more like Portal 2 or Portal 1 with Gladys's little modules. But yes.
I was gonna go 7 deadly sins, but
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you could go at it, right?
Have I met the lust
we
one
haven't
yet?
encountered lust yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's going to be the one in the palace, isn't it?
Wait, which fountain was constipated and which one was hungry? How many feelings are there?
This one here was clearly constipated, or maybe it was hangry.
No, I feel like this one. I feel like this one was sloth. If I had to pick one, it's probably like in a good nap and I woke it up.
Or maybe wrath, one of the two.
Hangry. That captures all of the.
I feel like this one was sneezy.
What does water eat? So many questions today.
So anyway, the cathedral towers above you. You guys are studying the fountains and kind of playing around at the fountain. And Zippo decides he wants to go to Majestic Apples to find Jordan and discuss escape plans to the city. And then maybe take a nap.
Yeah, a nice nap would be nice on Vernhild. Yeah.
Belzian, do you also go to Majestic Apples, or are you going to stick around and go to the Clockwork Cathedral? Roger, same question.
Belzian's going to the cathedral. I'm just going to duck in here for a moment.
I'll follow Belzian. Why not?
Okay. While you do that, we skip down to Roger, who is, or not, or skip down to Ulrich, who is taking a visit to Marius. Roger, or wow, I did it again. Ulrich, there. It's been a long day.
It's hard to tell when one of us begins and the other one ends.
Could you
Almost
do me a simple persuasion check to see if you can persuade Marius into... Okay. Yeah, he agrees to that. He says he's after you explain things to him, he understandably gives you a little bit more time, but again reminds you that anything that happens is on you and your group.
Well, of course. I said it was like removing a bug. I didn't say whether it was a butterfly or a wasp. Just a bug.
And if things...
And as long as we're still in agreement that I get to take out a kobold if I need to, then I'll take the hitting just fine.
And if things do get out of hand, Marius is the one that you should come to and ask for assistance.
Yes, Ulrich will come to Marius and ask for assistance. Well,
Did you both just talk to each other about yourselves in third person?
that's right, we did, mystical voice coming out of nowhere. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you over there. What's your name, recruit?
I'm not even here. Just disappeared.
Whoa. I didn't know you were hiring those kind of spies these days. Anyway, I probably ought to hit the old dusty trail.
Step lightly.
Kind of hard with, well, I'm a noisy fuck. Anyway, see you later.
So you're making your way where after you've met with Marius, Ulrich?
I'm just kind of making my way downtown, walking fast, and getting towards back to the group.
Okay.
You know, faces passing as I'm homebound.
So if you're going down, you're going to the Lowe's?
No, I'm going back to the group. So wherever I...
Okay, so you're
broke
going
off
up
from
to the Gold District.
Yeah.
All right.
I just really wanted to make a timely joke.
And I just took you at face value for it.
Yep.
And,
Appreciate it.
And continued going.
Yep.
So are you going to take the main stairs, like go toward the center of the city, or are you going up the side stairs?
So just to make sure, it's barracks here. So he would probably go up the side stairs Yeah, up the side stairs because Majestic Apple is on that side, and kind of left them vaguely, in that direction.
Okay.
Like,
I'm mainly asking to see if, because that was a pretty short conversation, if you would be meeting up with them at the Clockwork Cathedral, or if you would just end up at Majestic Apples, which it seems is like the latter. So,
yeah,
one of the things I will note is that Breakwater is heavily guarded as you pass it. There almost nobody uses this stairwell except for guard patrols. And then the Silver District, you see, is actually split into 2 tiers. It is not just one step. It is 2 half steps. So
Right.
you'll see that the Silver District is actually split into that type of thing. It's mainly a shopping district with
Right.
some residential. And then you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess as I'm heading up, especially as I pass by Breakwater, do I notice anything? I guess Ulrich is kind of keeping an eye for anyone that's maybe like looking at the prison in a weird way as he goes by.
I'll say that there's plenty of details along the wall here that separates Breakwater from the city. And also there's guards detailed up here on the upper ridge of the Silver District. As you can see, there's actually no buildings except for the one that's attached to the tower here, the watchtower, for that purpose, so that nobody can be obscured and like kind of drop down into the entrance. And Breakwater is more than just a high security prison. Of course, it is also where some select few get to mine for whatever might be within the mountains in this area. But it used to be a pretty highly used mine back before your time, I would say. And more recently, as in within the last 30, 40 years or so, it stopped being utilized as heavily and became more of what it is today over time.
Okay.
You could make a perception check to see if you see anything out of the ordinary.
Yep. Let's just get that.
Okay.
Just 11.
Yeah, looking around, you look at the ridge behind Breakwater that the building kind of is built into, the watch towers, everything like that, and nothing really seems out of place. It seems like there's more guards there than you might have put there had you been captain of the guard, but you don't really know much about things. But you also know that there is a festival tomorrow, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Right. Okay, yeah. He just continues on his way to Majestic Apples.
Okay. Inside Majestic Apples, you find Yarvik waiting patiently at a bar. Jordan is playing the lute on a small stage on one wall adjacent to a fireplace with a small group of people watching, listening, and drinking. More people have been entering the bar, Yarvik, as you've been sitting there, as the dinner rush has set in, and travelers have started making lodgings and things of that nature. You hear just before Ulrich comes in that the tavern is unfortunately sold out of rooms now after a few people get the last of them. So looks like you guys just made it. Ulrich, you enter to that scene, and Zippo, you enter about the same time as Ulrich.
Ulrich!
Hey,
Gentlemen,
hey.
come to the bar. I have far too much sausage to eat, and I'm way too drunk to eat it all.
Well, that seems like the time to eat more.
Yeah, I mean,
Soak it up.
take
But
what you can
I
get.
won't say no to some good sausage.
I like the way this man thinks.
Yeah, to Yarvik's point, he drank at every pub he went to. First, he started out slow, but as he indulged, it seems like he got less and less careful about how much he drank.
I had to maintain my ability to be, I'm coming into the bar. I'm just here for a drink. I'm totally not, spying on anybody. I had to, make sure I did a good job in covering.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's all
Fair
right. You
enough.
don't need to explain. Zippo, I was able to get the captain of the guard to ease off a little bit, so we'll be able to get your friend out.
Good, yeah, because I've met some more, and all of them had personalities so far, but one of them was a real douche, to be honest with you.
All right.
He was really mean for no
That-
reason either.
Well,
That's funny
Well,
because
maybe-
douche means shower in French. So.
it is actually very funny. That's true.
Never took French.
Well, maybe we should combine them outside the city gates. What do you think
He's
of
getting
that?
combined last, no matter what we do. That dude was mean.
All right.
Now his counterpart in the other fountain, that'd be the one I drink with.
Yeah, well, that's good. Speaking of drinks, so where'd you get all the sausage here, Yarvik?
In my adventure in the Lowe's, through much alcohol and asking around, also, the sausage, which I obtained from an excellent butcher, who gave me a really good price on some exotic meats. I did find one of our redheads, a Mr. Kippy New, large, very large mustachioned man, look quite Viking in nature, and definitely not the guy we're looking for.
I will also say this as a reminder: the 3 names that you found were not redheads; they were single men that had entered the city. It's just
Right.
it's a coincidence that this gentleman had red hair, but he did.
All right. Well, did you just in case? I mean, there are ways to disguise yourself, and I only recently learned that he's apparently not a doppelganger, as far as we're aware. But did you figure out where Kippy New stays in case we should investigate a little bit further?
He was mourning the loss of the the patriarch of the Full Mugs. So, if we need to investigate him, Full Mugs would be where we would start. But
All right.
I
wait,
didn't-
Well,
you crashed a funeral and didn't invite me?
you were busy on this very important quest. I know the water spirit is near and dear to your soul, and a sausage is clouded my brain. I have no excuse.
I thought we were
yeah,
best
it's
friends.
rough when the meat cloud comes in.
The meat sweats are real.
Yeah, sure are.
But the full mugs, while having an excellent draft, was in full swing for this wake. Lots of important people from what I feel from probably the Lowe's and Forens district were at this event. If we needed to go back, that would be a good place to start.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go see what Jordan's been doing, and then Zippo walk over to Jordan.
Jordan's singing a rousing tale about a goblin king that was slain, and his mistress was a hag.
Ah! What was the name of that goblin that we've been ruining his life without him knowing?
You talking about
The one we I gave
Vort?
gold to. Vort, yes. God, that man, if he ever comes out from to the surface, his whole life's ruined already. Is Vort in the song?
he doesn't really use names. He's just describing in the song. It needs some work. It's a little raw still.
Any patrons really into it?
No, that's why it's raw. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, his performance check wasn't great.
I'll go over to one of them, like, I'll be like, the song he's singing, I was involved in that. There's a new Goblin King down there named Vort. If you ever get the chance to slay Vort, you will be the legend. Like, Vort is a demon in disguise, we're pretty sure. But we couldn't do anything because he was really nice last time we were there.
The patron that's kind of listens to you and nods, says, "That's crazy."
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. It was crazy. A lot of weird stuff happened that day. There was like 8 of one of our friends. Anyway.
Patron keeps sipping at his drink.
Anywho. And then I go up to a Jordan once he finishes his song.
Yeah, after another song or two, Jordan takes a break. Now that you guys are there, he's been playing for a bit of time now. He comes down to speak with you and greet you. But before that occurs, I'm going to go over to the Clockwork Cathedral. Got to keep some cliffhangers going, right? So Roger and Belzian, you are entering the Clockwork Cathedral, correct?
I'm just following Belzy.
Okay.
Yes, into the cathedral.
Okay. So the cathedral is separated into 2 wings and then the main structure, as you can see on here. Going in, the place is huge with rich mosaics in a variety and wealth of color. It seems like various colored minerals have been used to make these mosaics. They're not painted, they're colored. They're rocks that have been procured and brought in and shaped into the mosaics that are here depicting the 12. And this is a big, this big main dome here that's in the front. In the back, this is a smaller dome here. So this one is where it's depicting the 12 in the ceiling. There are 4 large pillars that could probably fit 10 men standing side by side in diameter. So it's a very large pillar that's holding up this structure. There's 4 of them. And there seems to be a dais up toward the back that the church goes into the cliffside. So it goes farther back than what you can see here. In fact, you'll find that a lot of the shelves of this city do that. They utilize the space a bit more than you can see on the map. You see that there is a statue depicting each of the 12 gods in a circle. In fact, it's actually a giant clock with gears that kind of are interlaced intricately within an open clock that is kind of... It just seems naturally placed within the cathedral. It's not like some sort of mad scientist setup where you see gears and pipes and things everywhere. It's almost as if this clock, this church was built with the clock in mind, and it's like set in, and it just seems to fit. It's inlaid perfectly. You'll notice, however, that of the 12 symbols of the gods, 5 are missing.
Which 5?
I'm glad you asked. So, bringing up my handy-dandy handbook here for all things Seregen.
Out of the main temple for this religion, it seems unusual that almost half of them would be gone.
So
Yes, it's supposed to be the 12, not the 7.
Wander is missing.
Wonder where he went.
Qantas is missing. Langelius is missing. Saren is missing. Amatune is missing. And Twain is missing.
That's 6.
No.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, you're right. What the?
Is there 6
Okay,
missing?
Qantas is not missing. Sorry.
Then? Qantas is okay.
Yes.
Wonder,
So 1,
Jellius,
5,
Saren.
6, 9, 11.
And
3 of those I kind of understand. But God's number 9 and 6 missing. That's not nice at all.
why is 96 such a nice number? I'll never understand. Oh, what time is it? Can we see what time it is on the clock?
Yes, it's well, I mean, if all the symbols were there, it might be easier, right? It is the large hand is on Tolv, and the small hand is on Saren.
So it's roughly 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what was missing about the gods? Just like their symbols on the
The
clock?
symbols on the
or-
clock are missing. Yeah. And you can see that there are imprints of where they used to be.
Is there anybody around to ask?
There is plenty of people here to ask. There are monks, priests, clerics. Even there are people that are like pilgrims that have traveled here and seem to be either eyeing the cathedral much like you are, or praying at long pews that are, traditional to churches.
I'm going to go bug a pilgrim who is not actively praying right now.
So there was a group of 3 elves that are kind of marveling at the size of the cathedral inside, that had entered similar time to you have. They're 3 female elves.
Oh no, not my social ineptitude. I guess I'll go up and say hi in Elvish. And then hey, I've noticed that like almost half of the symbols seem to be missing. Do you 3 ladies know anything about that?
Um, as you point that out to them, they realize for the first time that these symbols are missing, and kind of look aghast and upset, and how could this have happened? They seem pretty surprised. They had been distracted by the mosaic, I guess, and hadn't looked at that clock yet. Do you know what happened?
Nope. I'm asking other people because I am as confused as you are.
Well, we should find somebody, or maybe they'll have an answer up near the clock.
I'll go ask a monk. But quickly, can I get your names?
All right.
Finger
As
guns.
long as it's not Mary with too many M's.
Nayara is one. Eltamal is another. Eltamal Lunar Grove, Lunera Fall Watcher, and Loot Shadowbrook.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go talk to one of the monks then and ask them the exact same question. Hey, what's with the 5 of the gods being missing on the big clock?
Sorry, my notes page seemed to have disappeared. Let me get that back up. This is not the
No
monk.
notes allowed.
The monk turns and looks at you like he's surprised you hadn't heard, and says, "Well, of course they're missing. They've been missing for some time. They mysteriously vanished one day several months ago, and we've been trying desperately to find them. We've been offering a reward for any information or anyone who can locate them and bring them back."
I hadn't heard about this or the reward. Tell me more.
Well, that's just it. There's not much to go off of. Nobody's seen them in several months. I think it's been 3 now. Yes, it must be 3 months. One day, when we were opening the church, we found that all 5 had mysteriously vanished.
Why those 5 in particular?
We have no idea.
I mean, if I was going to steal symbols of the gods, I would definitely take Seregen, but the rest of them, I don't know. Why those in particular, and not all of them?
You would dare steal the symbols of the gods from the Church of the Clockwork Gods?
Well, if I was a thief and I was determined to steal something from this church, I would definitely start with the god of fortune for good luck. But I don't understand. There's no rhyme or reason to the rest of them.
I understand trying to think like a criminal, but I don't know if I could. I can't think of why anybody would want to take any of them, to be honest. But I suppose that's why we are looking for people to help us, for different thinking people such as yourself. Well, have you, since you haven't heard of this before, I guess you don't have any new information.
No, sorry, but I'll keep my eye out.
Please do. We've given up hope that they're in the city. They might be somewhere else in Seregen, unfortunately. We might never recover them at this point.
If I ever stumble across them, I'll make sure that they find their way back here.
Thank you.
Belzian would like to investigate the giant pillars or see if there's any way to easily access the clock. To see if there's a way for the thieves to get up there.
So the pillars are thick. You wouldn't be able to like wrap your hands around them and like climb up like a tree trunk. They're like, have you ever seen the Hagia Sophia? It's a giant cathedral in Istanbul.
Pillars have like at least 3 or 4 seats worth of thick.
Yeah.
That's what I was
As I
thinking when he
said,
said that to you.
it's 10 feet wide, or it's 10 people wide, right? So
people.
it's like,
Oh, that's 10 C's.
yeah, yeah. It's a pretty big pillar. Like,
There'd be no easy way to scale it.
no, unless there's like a ladder built into it, which there is not. Um, the clock itself is against the back wall, not under any of the domes. There is ways to get into the clock, but there isn't anything to service the exterior. Like, there's no doors up at the clock face where you might be able to access the statues and things of that nature.
Perhaps they could access it from the outside.
The outside?
Like the outside of the building.
Oh, the entire building. There are windows on the sides, but the whole dome is all enclosed. There's no stone. It's all stone. There's no windows up there.
Okay, so there wouldn't have been like a Mission Impossible type situation where somebody like rappels down.
No, I mean there is a second tier with balcony, which looks like additional overflow for worship, but it doesn't go high enough to reach the clock.
Belzian would like to make a quick prayer to the 12 and ask anyone working what their recommended donation might be.
Whatever the 12 guide you to give, my son.
Oh, but I give so much already. Can I listen and like eavesdrop on anyone else who might be uttering prayers?
Sure.
Are there any red-headed people?
There are not any red-headed people, as far as you can tell, in the church.
Okay. Belzian leaves 12 copper pieces to Darices, the god of guidance and knowledge,
Okay.
hoping that perhaps something might come up. And then seek out Roger and share some notes.
So apparently a lot of the pilgrims aren't aware that the symbols are missing. But to
It
everyone
seems-
here in Jane, it's old news.
It seems pretty obvious. I mean, it's the first thing we saw when we came in. Did these people just like not look up?
The first thing I saw was definitely the mosaics. I distinctly remember the dungeon master describing those first.
What is the mosaic of? Like, can we take a look at that?
They are literally the symbols that I have the artwork of in the book.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's stolen like 5 of the mosaics, right?
No. These were actually like figured depictions of the gods.
So like people mini like action figures.
Like
The stone
like stone statues of people that are supposed to resemble the gods holding the items that are depicted as their symbols.
Looking all godly. Interesting.
Which is actually interesting in itself because generally they aren't depicted as humanoids. They're depicted as their symbols, and that's it.
Are all of the 7 remaining humans, or are there some elves in there?
They're humanoid, but not specifically any type of humanoid. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're non-distinct. In fact, they're gender neutral as well. The ones that you can see.
You know they're probably half elves, but that's just my musings.
That was worth the check.
Worth a check. I think we'll be okay. I left a small donation to the god of guidance, so all things will certainly be revealed. I I'm actually kind of surprised, Roger. You might actually be the last person I would think to see in a cathedral like this.
Even the more useful to get my insight then, or at least the monks here seem to think.
Which one's your favorite of the 12? I like them all so much. I had all the trading cards back at the Sanctum.
I mean, it's a toss-up between fortune and fate, right? It's which is more important depends on how sure you are of the thing you're trying to do, I guess.
Very situational.
If you're sure, then it should be fate. If you're not sure, it should be fortune.
That's a good point. Maybe you should leave a donation too, to both of them. And let's get out of here.
I'll leave the donation to fortune with me, to my own fortune.
That is true. Investing in yourself is always a good investment.
Shall we find the rest of our party? I think they're intending to settle down for the night.
How about them apples? Let's go to the Majestic Apples.
They sound majestic.
All right, we'll head back to the Majestic Apples and catch up with Zippo and Jordan quickly. Zippo, it feels like it's been quite some time since we've seen each other.
Indeed. Let me give you the rundown. We got a lot of water elementals to save. One of them, very bad attitude, by the way. It's really one, but it's like 7 pieces, different things like that. I need an escape route for 1, possibly killing a captain of the guard. 2, that one's on the back burner, so maybe
Whoa. Okay. We can discuss whatever you wish to discuss, but let's not. Let's think about what we're talking about in public here. And he kind of like is trying to hold your mouth shut. As soon as you start saying killing the captain of the guard, he's just like, no, not right now.
Out of nowhere, a loud sound bursts out at the bar, and a sausage comes flying towards Jordan's head.
I'll have to make a reflex save for this one. Let me get my character sheet up because I did not bring it up yet. I miss. The sausage sails past me, and I have to go chase it down.
Garvik shakes his fist.
But anyway, enough about what my plans are. What have you been doing today, Jordan?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, and he kind of flourishes his lute. It's deep, rich blue, and it has some intricate swirling gold patterns within it. They look like musical notes and things flying through it. It almost looks like as he moves it back and forth that they move slightly.
Interesting. Is that like all you did all day? Let's go get that done.
Well,
And get us lodging?
I met up with a few friends. I tracked down this beauty, which took most of the day to haggle down. And then I started looking for lodging / for our
escape routes.
friend. But I have to play in order to earn us the lodging, so that's what I've been doing. We can talk about escape routes tonight, though I'm not quite as familiar with Jane as I am other cities in Seregen, but yes.
Yeah, this place is pretty weird. Did you see my new cloak? He'll show him the cloak of useful items that he's wearing.
Oh, wow. This is very nice.
I got a very good discount for talking about how much I hate magic's magic.
Duly noted. Did you go to Carl's by chance? I don't think this is...
Yeah.
This isn't Jordan's voice. I need to get it back because it's been a while since I've used Jordan's voice. But I'll get there. Yes, I've heard strange things about Carl's.
It was a very different shop, to say the least. Also, there's a bar that's named something, I think, Four Paws? Or, let's see. What is the bar's name that has the paws?
You're talking about Four Hounds?
Four Hounds, yeah. Four Hounds, and they don't even allow dogs in there. Like, why name your something after dogs if you're not going to allow dogs in there? That's just rude. That's what that is.
That does seem strange, yes. Well, I got us a room for the night, and I got us 3 rooms. I paired us off, so I figured, like old times.
Yeah. Also, the thing with your song you were singing earlier, you got to put Vort in there more, man. You gotta make sure everybody knows that Vort is like the most evil creature ever, and that we spared him just so we could have something to fight later.
That might make for a good story, yes. I'll think about it when I'm tinkering tonight.
Fair enough.
At this point, Roger and Belzian enter, and we are back together as a group, all at Majestic Apples.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back. How'd your visit to the church go?
It was an amazing building. It looked like someone sculpted it out of stone, but they were looking for the sculpture inside the stone as they went. It's amazing.
How do you look for something inside of something you're sculpting if you're... I don't know about that one, Chief. That's kind of confusing.
That's why we're not sculptors, Zippo.
The gods work in
I'm too busy
mysterious
burning things down.
No, I got what you mean, buddy.
It's like looking for the organs inside the people that you stab.
Yeah, it's kind of like, that's always the end result. So why would you look for it when you know the end result is?
When you think about it, we're all sculptors of our own physical forms. Our bodies are...
I have always wanted the name Flesh Sculptor as a nickname.
It's not too late.
I'm not
Well,
sure.
I'm sorry. You always wanted that as a nickname?
Yeah, I just feel like that'd be something cool. Like, imagine, you walk into somewhere and they're like announcing off your titles and it's like, oh, so-and-so the night. Oh, so-and-so. Zippo, the Flesh Sculptor.
It does have a ring to it.
It does.
Very different upbringings.
One thing I
Let's
did
note
not...
At least 2 people named Flesh Sculptor.
I mean, it depends on what flesh you're sculpting, I guess. Like, apples, have flesh, right? Like...
Wait,
I was
do
talking
they?
like, making statues out of human skin.
Well,
That's
that
called
escalated.
a medium.
That escalated quickly.
Well, I think I'm gonna go to bed, maybe.
I did want to mention, as I have with other pubs and taverns here, what Majestic Apples was like. It's a simple golden inlaid apple that is on the sign outside with Majestic Apples in dark lettering. It's fairly simple but ornate at the same time. It's like a gilded sign. Inside, it is what I would say to be your quintessential tavern. All the taverns that you guys have been to have all been unique in some way, but when you think about what a tavern would look like inside, this is what would come to mind. It's got the hearth, it's got the bar, it's got the rooms. It is in a box form like that with a courtyard in the middle, and then there's a stable to the side here on the left. So there is open air seating, as well as interior seating and things like that. The rooms have balconies that face inward, so that if you were in your room, you could come out and listen to the music from your room. So it's fancy, but like it brings the mind of adventure to heart. The heart of adventure to mind. There we go.
It does seem nicer than that place in New Pod.
Yeah.
What color's the water?
No,
Some of
it's
you have
good
ordered
here.
water.
Yeah, Belzian orders a round of water for everybody.
The water is clear.
Yeah.
It's fresh
That's
mountain
cool.
spring water.
Now, Zippo, is this water talking to you?
No, not this time.
All right.
You know,
That just means
if you guys are more cultured, you would also be able to talk to more things than just water. I can talk to fire, air, and earth also, okay?
I mean, I can talk to all of those things.
Yeah, see?
Do
Me
they-
and Roger know.
Do they respond? Sometimes.
They don't always respond. Sometimes no. Fire is, I think, my most prominent one because I just like to talk to it while it burns stuff. It doesn't always listen.
I've definitely heard some stuff by Earth, Wind, and Fire, but
I think that's something
Can't say
Jordan
I know.
might know about.
I once talked to a volcano, but it was Ignorus.
oh, that's good.
No,
But
no, it wasn't.
hey,
I've
man,
only
you
ever
didn't-
had rocky conversations with the earth.
Ulrich leans over to Roger and goes, "You didn't hear his set. Like no one applauded. I'm just trying to support him a little bit. All right."
He's already got our rooms. We'll be fine. I wasn't planning on leaving this place with my dignity intact, but I'd still like to.
I wasn't really planning on losing any dignity either. So let's
It
try and
helps to
preserve.
start
I didn't have any to start with, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, before the night gets away from us, would we like to gather and discuss our day and what our plans might be for tomorrow?
yeah, let's do that.
That's a great idea.
I would like to get into the castle and free the water elemental, and yeah, hopefully not have to leave the city afterwards.
Let's do so privately. And do the assumption that we've got a private place to talk.
We have 3 rooms to choose from, and they are all adjacent to each other.
The middle one.
It was the middle one. All right, so we all go into the middle room.
Belzian says in like a hushed tone, so you guys like saved the king or something now, right? We're good?
No, we don't know really what the dangers are. We're gonna have to stick around for a little while.
Oh,
Not just
Right. Well. But I mean, tomorrow. Sorry, DM. Just making sure. Tomorrow is the parade, correct?
Yes.
So, tomorrow's going to be kind of or it's going to be a lot. So we just kind of need to be smart about what we're doing. Which is to say, once we collect the 7th water elemental, can't just go rushing off. Gotta think about sticking around. Maybe just kind of make sure things are on the up and up.
I mean, that is true. That captain of the guard did seem pretty suspicious.
if Zippo, if you could get the 7th water elemental out of the palace, we can join them up after the parade, right? You just need to dump it off in one of the fountains.
Yeah, I'll have to dump it off in the one I've been dumping it off because one water elemental takes up 1 barrel. So if I'm assuming
Gotcha.
the 2 together, it would take up more than 1 barrel, and that isn't
You could-
working out very well.
You could put it into an empty fountain.
That's true, but I could also just dump it into the one that's already got 4 in it.
It's up to you.
I like that plan best, just to dump it into there. That way, it saves me the trouble of having to carry around extra barrels. Because I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm not very muscular. I know it's hard to tell, but
So Belzy and I discovered something interesting at the cathedral. 5 of the 12 gods' statuettes by the clock have been stolen, apparently.
Oh, that's weird.
what would they
Yeah.
steal those? They have like no monetary value, do they?
I mean, for devout religious people, they're probably worth a lot of money.
I feel like there is no limit to the amount of value they have.
It'd be different if it was like a dragon statue. Then I could see stealing it for religious reasons, but like,
as somebody who's not particularly religious myself, to me, they're only worth the value of what the monks are paying to get them back.
what are they paying to get them back?
They didn't say. They hinted that it was a lot, though. So,
Like a lot to us or a lot to a monk?
this is the primary church of the entire continent. A lot to them is probably a lot to us.
You see that cathedral? It's pretty fancy.
It is pretty
So,
huge.
which ones were stolen, and when did this happen?
He said about 3 months ago.
Uh,
And Wander, Langelius, Seregen, Amatun, and Blaine. So
Well,
1, 5, 6, 9, and 11.
I might need to actually. DM, would I need to roll to know about Caillou and the Wanderer there?
Q, you mean?
Q, sorry.
Yeah.
I use that bald kid that we don't like.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Would I need to roll to know about the opposite nature between Q and the Wanderer?
No.
Okay. And well, so the opposite nature though is that does kind of like reflect, is it more of a two sides of the same coin, or is it more of a
they're kind of two sides of the same coin type of deal.
Okay.
Like they're direct opposites of each other, but on similar threads, right? So, for example, creation is magic and nature. Twain and right? No. Let me double check this. Don't want to misspeak here.
So that all holds up, except 5 and 11 are opposite each other, and they're missing too.
Right.
We're sure they got stolen, and they're not just been taken down for cleaning or something.
No, the monks have been concerned about it. I'm sure they would know if it was taken down for cleaning.
That reminds me of the map I have. I need to see what was that. Well, I don't think it has anything to do with that, but you guys reminded me of that. I forgot I left that with my patron. All right, I'll be back, and then we'll dip into my ring.
All right, so Zippo's out of the conversation now.
Okay. All right.
Get him
Well.
to jump in the fountain, Ulrich.
Oh well.
Belzian almost dumped him.
He almost went for a swim there, but I felt pretty silly causing mischief right by the cathedral.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we all won't be hit by anything tomorrow from the fountain. That's the only thing I'm really kind of worried about.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
Well,
Angry water person?
I'm not sure what the worst thing is, but I can think of several bad things that could happen.
right.
What if it was a hostile creature? We could just all drink it at the same time.
What
I
if
got
we're
her.
thirsty?
Oh no, we're doomed.
Tell Yarvik it's made out of beer.
Yes, please.
Beer elemental.
Yarvik is a halfling of simple pleasures. Okay.
It's a beer elemental. You have to drink it. It starts out really diluted, but when you get towards the end, it becomes less water and more beer.
It's like landfill in Beer Fest. He's got to try to drink his way out of the the giant vat of beer. If you haven't seen that movie, it's amazing. But I digress.
I think you need the crusher feat to drink beer elemental down, though.
Character goals.
What else happened today? What are we? Have you gotten us passage into the castle?
Yeah, we're gonna be able to go in there tomorrow morning and get the water elemental and do what we need to do. I spoke with Marius and well, I gotta be honest, I don't know, he's a good guy. I've always had good enough dealings with him, but he just didn't seem, I don't know, maybe he's just jaded by the fact that people do come after the king from time to time. I would have liked a little more surprise or shock about any of this over, you know. He also was very interested in knowing about all of you. So I did tell him that we had 3 half-orc triplets with us as well. So, just in case.
Did you give us cool code names? Or did you...
No, I called you all by your names, and
You didn't even get orcs cool code names.
no, I gave them pretty bad names. About as simple as you could get. But you know, we're in at least, and we'll see what's what.
Maybe he's just doing
we
a
are.
background check on us.
Yeah, I mean, it might be that, and he'll probably have some questions for me if he finds that 3 half-orcs did not enter the city with us. In which case, I will
Chastise the guards that let us into the city. Didn't write them down.
I don't know if I'm gonna throw them under the wagon, as it were, but I might just say, "Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. It was a tired night. They actually rode off before coming in the city." You know, I'll just mage light them. Now, we did get some leads on people that may be Shadow. And Yarvik found, you said Kippy New, right, Yarvik?
That is correct. At least that's who he identified himself as. We know there's some nefariousness going on with illusions.
Now,
Right.
Yarvik, you said you were down in Lowe's for most of today. Did you find anything else out of interest?
Mostly hitting the drinking establishments. I didn't find anything significant other than a delicious sausage vendor. The proprietor of the Full Mugs has passed away, and there was a rather large wake for him. So there may. It sounds like he was a pillar of that community.
So, if we haven't found Shadow, and we don't know what's happening tomorrow, what are we going to do?
Well, I mean, whatever's gonna come down is gonna happen, presumably in the castle. I think we just post up there and be ready to deal with shit if it hits the fan.
Just hang out at the castle somewhere?
Do you not
Yeah.
think that Shadow would be in the parade? Like, I'm assuming there's a parade at the festival.
Will the king be in the parade?
Should we be in the parade?
No. Well, you can. I don't want to.
Well, I mean, to my knowledge, the king is gonna be sequestered and protected, so should be fine. But presumably he's after Kane and isn't gonna fool around too much with the festival. I gotta be honest, there's every possibility that I mean that Marius is right, and they got things under control. But I don't have any real good plans. I'm open to suggestions if anyone wants to throw it out, of course.
If we think that tomorrow is going to be where events are going to unfold, I would say that our best play is the palace, being thereabouts, being ready and handy. But I'm also kind of curious about this water spirit.
Right.
Do we split the forces in 2 teams, or what does everybody think?
I'd say we wait until the celebration is over and then we can worry about one. We can obviously get the one out of the palace early in the morning just to be safe. But I think that's something I'd rather not finish putting together until the king is clear, so to speak.
Is this what? Do we know what this water spirit's going to do?
Nope.
This is Zippo's plan.
Does Zippo?
No. Are you kidding me?
Just stare at the ring.
The plan for the water spirit is to keep Zippo from burning down the city.
Right. Well, that actually. So, I mean, I like Zippo a lot, but it's not like he's just kind of a ball of chaos, ain't he? So.
I'll put it this way. Any ball of chaos that's on my side is a ball of chaos I don't have to worry about as much.
Well, you say that, but I should probably level with you all that if this elemental goes sideways inside of the city, Marius is going to be holding us personally responsible, and I will probably immediately take care of Zippo. Just as a parting gift for myself.
You will not be touching Zippo. Jordan kind of picks up the ring protectively at that point, and I say, we will deal with what comes of it, but if you think that this is going to get us into trouble, we should deal with it now as opposed to later. But whatever you promised the captain, I'm in this group for the long haul, and I will protect any member of it, and Zippo is one of them.
I really don't think we're going to have any trouble. I'm going to try and talk Marius down. I'm not really going to come at him.
Okay.
but
but
I would like it if you could maybe talk some sense into him, make sure he, doesn't go and activate the water elemental inside of the city. If we can just get it outside of the city, there's got to be more than just a few barrels here. There's got to be water elsewhere. We can do it outside of the city.
Perhaps we can get more barrels and gather the last 2 and I don't know. Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's also the circus outside the city.
Right. Well,
maybe they'll have like a pool or something. An above ground pool.
There's a circus. Interesting.
Wherever we dump all of the pieces of this water element, there will be a pool. Kind of by definition.
Yeah.
Just dump it right on the ground.
Don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to kill it.
Whoops.
The goal isn't to kill it. The goal
right,
is to
well, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a matter of just, drop it and then it gets absorbed and is dead, or if we can if a puddle is enough, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right. Before break, I'm gonna go over to Zippo. Zippo. Long time.
Indeed. Let me tell you, I have had a handful. So I'm at a water elemental, and I'm putting it back together right now. We're going to be best friends. I'll accept one piece of it, because that one piece is just super attitudey for no reason.
You hear in the air a tinkle of bell-like laughter around you.
But yeah, anyway, I was coming to check out and see if the map had any significance to you, and if you have deciphered it to find out what it is.
I cannot see where this might be.
Ooh. Yeah, I've tried to decipher it myself multiple times, and all the members of the party have, but none of us could make out any of the words.
There is another slip of paper that you have come across that does interest us.
Which one is it?
I overheard something about a key to the wall. That sounds interesting.
I think, are you talking about the scepter schematic that was in the burnt book?
The silence sounds like a shrug. At this point, there's no image of your dragon friend. It's just kind of a voice around you, right? You do know that your patron kind of interacts with the world through your ring. So just like you're able to hear everything outside of your ring right now, like the conversation that's happening, so too can your patron through that ring. So things that happen, your patron might not know everything that's going on, but it will like mention things that sound interesting to them.
Gotcha. Okay. I will see if I can collect. I think I remember Jordan drawing some extra ones of the scepter. And I'll collect the image if I can get him to draw me one and bring it in tomorrow. And see if that's what if we're on the same page about, if that's what the thing you're talking about is. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I better head back out and make sure we can get everything set up for tomorrow and see if I can get Jordan to draw that before we go to bed tonight.
Okay.
And then I will pop out of the ring.
Zippo's back out, and Jordan hands the ring back to Zippo.
Thank you.
So who exactly is it you talk to in there?
My dragon god.
Right. What's his name?
Give me 1 second, let me look it up.
Pretty sure he could tell you, but then he'd have to kill you.
Well, Jordan will make sure that no one does that.
Yeah, it was a little. I mean, you've seen Jordan, in a fight and a scrap and whatnot, but Jordan was like almost like father-like protective of Zippo.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And it softened Ulrich's response when he realized he was being callous.
Right.
All of the rest of you.
Elzian was touched, but also a little bit jealous, having no parents.
Well, while Zippo is looking for the name of his patron, what we'll do is we'll go to break, and we can finish out conversations, but I'm going to assume that we are all going to sleep for the night. And with that, we are leveling up. We are going up to the next level.
Level up, right?
feel free to on break if you want to start doing that. That's fine. We'll do it in session and I can answer any questions that you guys have, and then we'll move on to the next day.
Okay.
So, guys out there in Twitch, we'll be right back after a short break. And in the meantime, enjoy some sick tunes. Bye. All right, we're still leveling up, but I figured we'd move us back over. Jordan can now get all his bardic inspiration back after a short rest, so that's nice. How is everybody else with leveling up? Is everybody pretty much good? Everybody's ruled their hit points and everything like that, and checked out what they got new. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Did you pick your spells, Jaeger? Okay. It's one way to solve that problem. No, they were not. Oh. I'll also take this time to award Godly Inspiration. It's for random things that you did and unlocked achievements, which get you a 1d6 of your choosing. I'll start with Yarvik. Yarvik got the achievement Toss a Coin to Your Water in his one shot, where he tossed a coin in the fountain and got an achievement from that. Most of the achievements, not to make you fish for achievements or anything like that, are themed on the gods. So like that's why it's called Godly Inspiration, right? Belzian, you got Maker's Dozen for donating 12 coins exactly to the church. Yeah? Oh, I guess nobody called me. I thought somebody, it might have been Outback. And that is so far what has been unlocked. I have other things written down, and if things happen, more of you may unlock things and whatnot. It's just a fun thing I'm trying out, so. It's different from regular inspiration. It's a 1d6 that you add to your roll. So it adds to the 1d20 instead of like a re-roll or something like that. It's more like bardic inspiration, but like it sticks around. It'll always be a 1d6 though. It sticks around as in like it's a one-time use, but like, you know, like bardic inspiration only lasts so long, you know what I mean? So it only lasts for 10 minutes. All right, so we each divide into our separate rooms, I assume. Are you guys going to be resting comfortably, or is anybody going to be like splitting watches between the rooms, or like what's the plan? Right. Oh. You're the best. Thank you. Sorry about
Figured I
the we just leveling up, so you guys didn't miss much, but yeah. Oh, Roger, stop that. Thank you for checking that. I appreciate you. Let's see what else. I'll remind you, Amethyst, that there are 2 entries to the rooms. There is the entry from the inn, and then there's the balcony interior, like that
we're
faces the
definitely
courtyard.
blocking the balcony.
Yeah. The doors do lock from the inside.
If there are curtains, we're drawing them. The stuff's going to be piled in front of the door to prevent it from opening and all of that.
Okay.
At least in Roger and Ulrich's room.
I'd say me and Jordan would lock our door, and then probably I would lay down on Brunhild, like right next to the entrance from the balcony. That way it kind of blocks it in a way. Plus, I feel like Brunhild would be pretty like, oh crap, someone's on the balcony.
Yeah,
oh, she's a dog.
we've got a watchdog in our room, so we kind of feel a little bit safer, right?
Yeah. Also, do you want me to roll for the?
Yes. Go ahead and roll those now.
Okay, I don't remember how many it was that I rolled.
7.
And
7. Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Roger, I figure I can take the first watch, so you can trance.
I'll be awake for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so judging by the rolls, the first one is a pit, which you could place on the ground within 10 feet of you. The second one is a 10 gems worth 100 gold pieces each. The third one is a riding horse with saddlebags. The fourth one is a wooden ladder. The fifth one is also a wooden ladder. The sixth one is an iron door, which you can place in an opening you can reach. It conforms to fit the opening, attaches, and hangs itself. And the last one is 4 potions of healing.
And how much did you pay for this?
For this, I paid, God, what was it? All my gold, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which I think I made back with the 10 gold. Yeah. I got my money back.
The 10 gem.
Let me write this down somewhere.
Out of the 10 gems that you expect from that, you only get 7 of them. 3 of them disappear as soon as they spawn. I'm sorry you didn't get any mastiffs.
I know. I really just wanted all mastiffs.
So, I believe these patches, once they're used, won't be able to be put back on, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, once they're used, they're out.
So, like, the pit is a one-time use. You can't put that back into a patch and things like that. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm sorry about the 3 gems, by the way. It's something that was hardwired into the item when you bought it.
That's fine. I still get 700 gold back, which I can go back and buy more magic items with.
Right. Yeah.
And I have a horse with saddlebags, which would be useful to everybody. And 4 potions of healing. Plus the stuff that already comes on the road.
You've got 2 ladders, which is, I think, the funnest one. Like, we've got portable ladders now.
Yeah.
All right. So, the evening and night passes without incident. Everyone sleeps soundly in nice beds. There are 2 beds in each room, so everybody gets to actually have a night's sleep. Jordan gives you a copy in the morning of the copy of the picture of the rod, or I guess the scepter, and well, if that one was a crude representation of that page, this one is even more because it's a copy of the copy, so the quality is even worse than it was before. But it gets the idea across, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so
So
it is the
get up in the morning.
15th.
Times 2.
Happy end of the Wars Day.
Okay. As soon as we get up, when we go downstairs, I'm going to ask the barkeep if he has 2 extra barrels he'd be willing to spare.
Well, I don't have spare barrels, but you could probably go to Lowe's and purchase some for a fairly inexpensive price, especially if they're empty.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where in particular you get your barrels from? You got a Cooper?
Yep, there's Coopers and all kinds of folk down
Right, but
there.
do you have one you'd recommend, maybe?
Well, I mean, I've had these barrels for a while, and I fix them up myself if anything goes awry. But yeah, no, I couldn't point you to, one Cooper's the same as the next.
All right.
Do you know anybody that buys gems for a good price?
Well, you could check on the Gold District. There's plenty of jewelers on this level.
Okay. Any of them that are more friendly towards outsiders?
Well, that you might do better on lower levels, but you might not get what you want for a price at lower levels, or they might not be able to afford all of what you're trying to sell, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha, yeah. Okay. Alrighty then, well, I guess we'll head out to get barrels now.
What is the rest of the party doing?
All right, well, you good luck with that. I'm going to be heading up towards the castle. Just get.
That's what I'm getting the barrels for, so we can get prepared. We get 2 barrels.
Wow.
We get the other 2 water elementals. Then we have the 1 barrel Belzian has to get the one in the palace. Then we have all 3 in barrels. We can go dump them off when we need to.
I know what you're up to. I just figure you got this in hand.
I don't. I need more people to carry barrels. Do you think I can carry a barrel full of water?
Hey, now. You got to believe in yourself, little guy. No,
I
actually,
ain't
I
even
just
a lot for
figured
myself.
Judging from the barrel yesterday, the barrel was like larger than Zippo. Like he could fit in the barrel.
Right. Yeah, no,
I got
I just figured you'd have help with the others, and since I've got the connection with Marius, go ahead and just get to the castle and secure
Yeah,
the
so you
area.
can persuade Marius not to have you kill me if something goes wrong?
Hey, now, who said anything about?
You did yesterday when I was in my ring.
Oh, I just meant that in good fun. I'm not going to do a damn thing. What's going to happen if something goes wrong is I'm going to talk Marius down after we save stuff.
We could just kill Marius.
No. That would be worse for us.
Just get banned from the city for life.
I think you'll find that if we go and kill Marius, if he's upholding the law, we're not going to be banned from the city, Zippo. We're very much going to be stuck in the city, in a very special place inside the city.
Yarvik is sitting at the bar and has a bowl of popcorn. He's just shoving it in his face, watching back and forth, back like a tennis match.
But look, if anything does go sideways, we'll deal with it, and then I'll deal with Marius, and then maybe we have to run from the city. All right?
That was my original plan anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so how long until we can get into the castle? Because if it's enough time, I'll
That's what
go
I'm
on.
gonna go figure out.
Okay, well, you let us know. Me and Belzian are going to go start collecting the other two water elementals.
What if
that
I had
sounds
other
good.
things to collect? My barrel's just not a free-for-all.
I mean, I don't mind going with you, Zippo.
Perfect. Now we'll just have one barrel short.
If Belzian has other things he needs to take care of.
Oh, no, I like to help. I'm coming.
Yarvik flexes a tiny halfling, but yet well-muscled arm and says, I got this.
There we go.
Arvik,
Go
you're
down.
stacked.
Buy two. We'll go. What we'll do is we'll only need about one barrel. So what we'll do is we'll go get the happy elemental, drop him off when we're buying the other barrel, come back, pick up the angry elemental, go to the palace, pick up the hopefully not angry elemental, and then dump them off when we get the gems.
Sounds
Oh,
like a
there we
lot
go.
of walk.
It is a lot of walking.
One thing Jordan said in confidence to you last night while we were staying in the room for the escape plan, Jordan's only idea was using the water elemental to escape if we need to escape.
I like that plan. Water elemental. We're gonna call them. What is it? It's 7 different personalities. What should we call? We're gonna call the water elemental split. It'll be perfect. Everything is working out perfectly for me to become the evil villain who rides a water elemental and has an undead dragon.
I can believe in the water elementals, but the dragon thing's a bit far-fetched.
Fair. All right, boys. Enact plan. Get water elemental to either befriend or possibly escape city with. Phase 1 is what we're on, I guess. No, this should be. I guess this would be like phase 2 because phase 1 would be originally. We're actually on phase 3 of this plan. I don't know why we didn't start this plan earlier, or start the phases earlier, or counting them at least. Yeah,
Maybe it's phase A.
I feel like we'd be on B though, because phase A would be like learning of them and finding them, which we've done. So phase B is what we're enacting right now, which is collecting and rebuilding.
Mm.
Phase C would be the plan of runaway if we need to be.
Spelled SEA because it's about the water elemental for escaping, right? So water.
Yeah,
C.
plan C.
How about Roger and Ulrich? Since Belzian, Zippa, 4 of the members of the party are going water hunting.
This is to save the king. Don't worry.
Sorry, I'm still feeling the pain from that thought.
I don't know. I think it was one of my high seas.
Oh God.
I
That
will
too is
remind
depressing.
you that you've commissioned something with Carl, so that was due today. Belzian, you had mentioned that you wanted to check out the library at some point. Now that the party has access to the castle, that's something that's available to you. And Ulrich, you mentioned that you wanted to go to the castle now. Is that still your intention?
Yep.
Yarvik also has business with Carl Jarl to get his hat back.
Right.
Ulrich, if you come with us to occasionally Carl's, we can all go to the castle together afterwards.
Well, as long as it's not going to take too long, yeah, sure. All right.
If we split up, we could find it faster.
You guys going to Carl's? I have a coupon. Here, somebody take this coupon.
Oh, excellent. I'll take that.
It says a friend of Carl's is a friend of Carl's, and it says 250 gold. Or wait, was it 250 gold off for a purchase of 500 or more? Yeah.
Yep.
I believe those were the terms.
Yeah.
Sounds like a deal.
The script, it's any friend of Carl's is a friend of Carl's is big, so then it's very, very fine print for the rest of it because he had to cram it in. It's all handwritten.
What was the other magic item I was looking at? Oh yeah, necklace of adaptation. That's what I'm gonna sell my gems and go back to buy. I think because how much was it? No, I won't have enough because it was 250 off. Was the only reason I had enough. Never mind.
Let's go check all of the locations that we know that Carl's can be at. If we split up, then we can just, if somebody finds it, they can let everybody else know where it is.
That's a good plan.
All right.
Okay, wait. So, are we all looking for Carl's, or are some of us looking for barrels and some of us looking for Carl's?
I am sticking to my grab water elemental friend, take to fountain, get extra barrel, come back, grab angry water elemental friend, go to palace, grab hopefully not angry water elemental friend, and then dip back down to fountain and dip and have water elemental friend.
Okay, so your plan is to carry around angry water elemental to the castle and then take both of them down, or are we still doing the one at a time thing?
Well, my ideal right now, I want to grab the happy one and take him down.
On your way down.
Yeah, on the way down, and then if I can grab another barrel, then I'll do the grab water elemental friend that's angry and hold him till we get the one that has, or the one that comes from the palace. But if I can't, then I'll just do one at a time again.
Okay, so you'll keep him in the water fountain.
Yeah, I'd say probably leave him in the water fountain until I grab the palace one.
Are we splitting half and half? Like 3 going one place, 3 going to the other? Are y'all looking for Carl's?
Yeah. Oh,
Sounds like it.
I can go up to the one over near the Pointless Pub, maybe.
Where all of the Carls have been.
Occasionally.
Yes. Roger will check the one over near Breakwater.
And then we got one down here in the Forens, one over here in the Lows.
It's also one in the Copper District by Breakwater. Is that the one you said?
Yeah, that's the one that Roger's going to go.
Yep.
The other one is by Pointless Pub up in the Gold District.
Yep, that's the one Ulrich's looking at.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this water elemental, sell those gems off of my back, and then go buy more magic items.
I'll be right back, guys. Oscar sliced Benji's face open. They fought.
Oh,
so
shoot.
He's got like a big gash across his nose. So
no.
Gabrielle's taking care of Benji. I'm going to put Oscar in the basement for timeout.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
That's an oof.
Just for also heads up, if we need it, the stuff that's in my robe, other than what I rolled, I have 2 daggers, 2 bullseye lanterns that are filled and lit, 2 steel mirrors, 2 10-foot poles, 2 50 feet of hempen rope and 2 sacks.
And 5 golden rings.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
I just heard the 12 Pains of Christmas while we were out. We're actually out on Black Friday. I had not heard that song in ages.
He was sitting on the couch.
Not since
And
at
a
least last
beer.
year.
I'm still waiting for Mariah Carey.
I don't know where
It's coming. It's coming. And what was that? It was that terrible John Lennon song. One of those Christmas songs. It was one of the former Beatles. Oh my god, it's so awful.
Is it John Lennon or is it Paul McCartney?
I know they both did one, and I can't remember which one has the terrible one.
Well, the bleeding stopped.
I don't know actually. Either of them did a Christmas song. That's pretty wild.
Wow. I actually haven't heard any Christmas music yet.
You know, ideally what would happen here, I go back to Carl's, and he has a magical item that I can equip to a water elemental, and that lets me control water elementals for under 700 gold.
Mm-mm.
That would be ideal.
What item is this?
I don't know, I was just saying, it would be awesome if you had an item like
Oh, I
that.
see.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're looking at an item that does exactly that. Interesting.
No, I wish, but even if he did have that, I doubt it would be under 700 gold.
Oh,
Unless
yeah, I would doubt that too.
Carl would be feeling friendly, gifty. You know?
What if the mysterious enemy forces were planning to do exactly that, and they're going to drown the king, and we're playing right into their hands? Oh, I'm sure it's nothing.
All right, so Zippo easily finds a Cooper, and how many barrels would you like to buy?
Did we grab the happy water elemental on our way down to find the Cooper to drop him off?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll just buy one more barrel.
Okay. So you trudge down the main stairs with Belzian with this barrel filled with water. The distance going down, it starts to wear on you a bit. Could you give me a strength check? It's quite a wide ways to walk with a barrel full of water.
A 14?
Okay. You have to take a break. It takes probably about a half an hour or a little bit more to get it all the way down there.
Elzian tries not to drink the water.
The fountain swells once more and flips happily as the fifth piece is added. And the waters begin to swirl once more. The fountain is now super high, ridiculously so. In fact, one of the buildings, the wind seems to have caught the water a bit, and it's basically raining on one of the buildings now.
As we drop it in, I'll talk to him like, almost there, friend. 2 more pieces to get.
It bubbles happily.
Yeah, this is all working out.
When we pick up another barrel, do you think we could pick one up that's full of something? Like maybe just like a barrel full of onions or something. You never know when you need a lot of onions.
I just need the empty barrel for more water elementals.
Well, we can empty the barrel, of course, but maybe we could buy one that already has stuff in it.
If we can find one before we find an empty one.
We'll see what store we find.
So if you're going to a Cooper, generally they're just going to be selling barrels. You could go looking for like a grocery and try and buy an entire barrel worth of something.
If the Cooper's
It's
closer, I'll
probably
just go to
going
the
to
Cooper.
be expensive.
Yeah, I'll just go to the Cooper and get the empty barrel.
Okay.
And then once we have it, and Jordan and Belzian are both equipped with barrels. We'll start heading towards the palace, and then I'll, as we start heading towards there, I'll ask them if they found Carl's.
All right. So Yarvik, Ulrich, and Roger are all going to look for Carl's, correct?
Yep.
So who's
So-
looking where?
Ulrich is going to go to the one near the Pointless Pub, up
Okay.
still on this level,
gold level.
with the intent that if it's not there, he'll just then, let everyone know and proceed up to the palace.
Okay.
Roger's going to the one near Breakwater in the Copper District.
And Yarvik.
I thought I was going with our barrel crew.
I wasn't sure if you had changed your mind or not because you needed to pick up your hat at Carl's and they were going to Carl's. You can do either.
I can switch over since we didn't really nothing they were doing really needed me right then. I can check out the one in Foreign's district over to the north side by Pub's Pub.
Okay. So I would say that about the time Yarvik, you reached the Copper District, bottom of the large steps, and Amadeus reaches the alley, the street that Carl's is on the Copper District. Ulrich finds that Carl's is currently on the Gold District in that space.
Yeah, he goes to the rings to let them know.
Okay.
All right, it's up here. Sorry, up in the Gold District. I'm gonna keep him here for a bit.
Yarvik is muttering to himself as he's trudging back up the steps.
Yeah, we'll book it back up to the Gold District as quickly as our little legs can take us.
Okay.
Yep. And Ulrich will go inside. But he'd like to, I'm assuming that we talked about this place as a group.
Yes. I would say
think
in our recounting that we pretty much are aware of what each person did.
Right. I think he would like to just kind of keep 1 foot in, 1 foot out of this building.
Okay. Oh, looks like we lost Belzian. Oh, he's back.
Yeah. So he opens the door and he puts a foot in. It's like, hey, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing good, doing good. Are you,
So
what does the sign say?
the sign says Carl's for you.
Oh, all right. You're a Carl,
Occasionally.
I take it.
Occasionally.
Right. Okay. I got some friends just on their way to see you here, so.
I see, and you're holding the door for them. Very good.
I am doing that. That's right. But while I'm here, got any I don't know, magic items that I might be interested in? I'm especially fond of axes, maces, armor.
He nods enthusiastically and gestures toward some weapons racks on the south wall, the left wall.
Oh, look at that.
What are you looking for?
I mean, magic axe, mace, one of the two.
Axe or mace? Okay. Just like a +1 weapon.
Magic. Just any magic you feel.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's some +1 weapons for sure, which would be the weapon plus 1,000. Like the enchantment of giving it a +1 is the 1,000. let's see here. There looks like there's an axe that's called the musician's axe.
Okay.
There is.
I'm curious what the musician's axe does, if I may.
Well, that axe can, if wielded by someone who is virtuous in music. Sorry, Gabrielle's updating me on more things she's finding on Benji. He's bloody elsewhere too. They really got into a fight. Someone who can play a musical instrument can, when they wield it, they can play it like it's a guitar. But it can also be used just like an axe. And it's magical, so you get the benefits of, magical weapons, of course.
Does it look like a flying V?
What was that?
Does it look like a flying V?
No. It looks like a almost like an executioner's axe, where it's like a blade the entire way around. And then the handle of it, you can see etched into it are 6 lines that have the reminiscent shape of like strings on a guitar.
Well, last I was kind of hoping it would teach me how to play, but I ain't got the skill. If you had your choice of, I don't know, axe or mace inside of your facility here, what would you choose?
Well, I'm not really a fan of weapons myself. I more like to use my hands if you get my meaning. However, and he looks at the axes and the maces and he said, "Well, this mace over here does fire damage, and I've always been a fan of fire myself. Pyrotechnics is a fun but dangerous hobby."
Yeah. How much is your fire mace?
Maybe let's look at the price here. It looks like I've marked that to 1,750 gold.
All right. Well, that's good to know. So, Carl, why is it Carl occasionally? My friends all seem to have a different name for you, but they surely were talking about the same guy.
Well, I'm occasionally in one place and then I'm occasionally in another.
And when you're in different places, you take a different name?
Sometimes. He kind of giggles mischievously. It's just all a bit of fun. Keeps things interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm just kind of holding this goal.
Roger and Yarvik arrive at some point in this awkward conversation.
Afternoon or morning, Carl.
Ah, Roger, welcome.
Wait, Carl? I thought you were Harl.
Yes, that too. Carl's fine.
Okay.
How are you, Yarvik?
I'm well.
So at this point, Carl makes a busying flourishes into movement as he goes to get the items that he's prepared for each of you over the last evening. He goes into the back and quickly comes back with a pink hat and the lantern that you saw on the front desk yesterday, Roger.
So, tell me about what you've done to this lantern.
This you were very fortunate that I came in to acquire this lantern the other day, because I think that it might help solve your problems. I couldn't make an affordable way of, well, allowing you to see through magical darkness. There's only so much you can do on certain budgets, right? So what I did was I tried to assist you in harnessing the darkness with this item that already did such a thing, kind of. See, this lantern, and he demonstrates by lifting the hood. And everything, the room around you blackens into darkness. You're in magical darkness. He says, well, it seems like it casts the darkness spell as if it was light. And then he closes the lid again. What I did was I couldn't think of a way to make the effect opposite, and it would be a waste of an item and to ruin it like that. I decided to make it better, and he says, I experimented with the shadows for quite some time last night, this darkness spell, and what I found was nobody ever really upcasts darkness. It's just darkness, like daylight eradicates it and whatnot and all that stuff, but nobody ever upcasts it because it doesn't do you any good. But I found one use, and that's darkness is darkness. So if a spell is more powerful than another spell, it supersedes the spell that is already there. You see, a negative and a negative is a positive. You see what I'm saying? Do you follow me?
So what you're saying is you should just cast magic missile with the darkness.
No, nothing like that. And he slides the lantern forward and says, I call this the Shade Eater. This baby touches a darkness spell, and your lantern will eat it. And you will control the darkness that was once there with your own. This is one level higher than the normal darkness spell. So unless somebody knew that this did it, like myself, any darkness that you encounter will be eaten by this. There was one problem with this, however. Well, in trying to upgrade it, I kind of broke the spell a little bit, and it only works 3 times a day now.
Let's see. So
it's not I know I just used up one of your charges for the day to demonstrate, but I'm one for flair. So hopefully you don't need it 3 times in the city. I mean, maybe in your adventure somewhere. But
how much for this fine piece of machinery?
Well, I suppose I shouldn't charge you what I would charge normally for this, because I used the base of an existing magical item, and also I ruined it a little bit, didn't I? And he's scribbling on some pieces of paper. He like crumples it up and tosses it away and starts writing on another piece of paper. And he's thinking and he's thinking, and he looks you up and down like he's measuring you for whatever reason. And he says,
remember, I'm not wearing my fine clothes right.
Right.
Wearing my
No, it's almost like he's actually measuring your height but there's no need for that, right? He says, 1250.
I don't have that much money on me, but I can come back and perhaps.
How much do you have? How much you got, Roger?
I have a little over 750, and plus this coupon.
Right, all right, fine. Here. Ulrich gives you 400. Well, sorry. So it's 1250, so he gives you 250 then.
We may be able to get that reimbursed by my employer.
Oh,
Yep.
well, in that case, 5,000. I'm just kidding.
Well, thank you very much, Ulrich.
Here.
If I could get a receipt for that, please.
He hands over the scribbled piece of paper that has some calculations on it, and waves his hand over it, and it has in plain text, Roger, what's your last name?
Maze.
He puts his thumb over it, and it says Maze next to the Roger, and then the Shade Eater has a little picture of the lantern, and 1250
Cool.
gold pieces.
Time to pay up, and then later attempt to get reimbursed.
Ulrich and Roger make history checks.
I have 17. Whatever that means.
All right, Ulrich, you remember a specific lantern that you encountered once before that did something like this?
Interesting.
Not exactly how Carl described, but the base item. The shadow lantern.
Sorry. So
It's probably that thing that was at the Goblin Mine.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, all right, Hale. You ever do any work out in Jewel, by the way?
No. I don't leave the city.
Well, you ever work for the getting my notes because trying to remember their names. It is the Mithril brothers. You ever work with either of them?
Can't say I have. Why do you ask?
I just came across something similar to this lantern once before.
Oh, interesting. Well, this is the first I've seen of one of these. It's excellent craftsmanship. I came into its possession. Someone sold it to me a few days ago.
Well, that's interesting.
Could you describe the person that sold it to you? If it is unique, then perhaps we know them.
Well, yes. He had red hair.
That's
I'd remember that hair anywhere. It was quite bright. He had a beard and blue eyes, and he reminded me of someone, but I can't place who at this point.
he
He thinks
give a
again.
name.
He did not.
Did he say where he was going? Actually, where was your store when he bought it? I know that's a lot of questions, but
He didn't buy it. He sold it to me.
sorry, I sold it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And let me just say, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Now that I'm selling it to you as well, but I believe it was on one of the lower levels. I move around so much. Sometimes, I'm not sure where I am at any point in day. Like right now, we're on the silver level, for example.
No, we sure aren't. We're in the gold district.
Okay.
How confident about are you?
If you say so.
All right. Well, so did he say at all where he was going? What brought him to town? You make any kind of conversation? You're an awfully gregarious fellow.
I am fairly chatty, but I couldn't get much out of the man. In fact, that's what made me remember him the most. Most people, such as yourselves, are quite friendly. He just wanted to sell things, and well, he didn't even look to buy anything. He just wanted to sell. Looks like he was in a hurry, that one.
Didn't have any friends with him or anything?
He was alone.
All right. Well,
Thanks for letting us know. Seems like we don't know him after all.
yeah, sure does. Hey, I'm sure that we're going to be back. Next time I'll come with a little more money on me. How about that?
That sounds great to me.
All right.
Bring anyone who you think would want to shop at a humble place like this, he says with a flourish.
Will do. I do have friends occasionally.
And I will be here for them occasionally.
Yeah. I think Ulrich would leave after that, but he's going to want to talk with Roger.
All right. So, Yarvik, he hands you the hat and assures you, I assure you, it is green now, but you'll have to wait until you leave the castle in the city and maybe a few feet after the city in order for it to be truly green.
Okay, I look forward to seeing what it looks like.
And we're all paid up. You paid yesterday, so I think we're good.
Outstanding. And then Yarvik plunks the hat down on his head.
The hat has a W on it, by the way.
It has a W now.
Wands. Or from Moeri.
So as you leave,
Wombo.
you are indeed in the Silver District, on the second level over on the left side of the stair. So you found a sixth location for Carl's shop.
Damn it. All right, now that just really chaps me. He knew we were in the Silver District.
He did say so. Yes.
Yeah. All
To the
right.
palace?
Well, I guess. I mean, that's still where things are going to go down. So let's do it.
And
I
Shade,
wish you-
go ahead and even if it's out of session, think about what type of item you're looking for, and I'll keep an eye out for some things too. I'll do some
sure.
work on
I don't-
X's and Aces.
I don't really have anything in particular. I also
Sure.
just didn't have the money to buy
Right.
anything. So it's like, but I will keep it in mind. Yeah.
Yep. No problem.
Where I wish he knew where he was at the time. I mean, obviously, Shadow's not going to just stay there, but yeah. By the way, Yarvik, I like your hair. It's very nice.
Well, thank you.
You look like a real bad man.
Jorvik he's gonna pull his pipe out and take a well-deserved and slightly sinister puff.
All right. So at this point, I guess we're all meeting up at the castle, right? With us toting some empty barrels and you guys toting some new loot. And I guess Jordan technically has new loot too, in the form of a new loot.
Pretty good.
God dang it.
No new axe.
Yeah, no new axe. All right, so the highest level of the palace, the air is much cooler up here, and it's a lot quieter. The palace is in a bustle of movement despite the quiet. It's just hushed silence as people are moving and setting things up and preparing for the festivities of today. Since it's early, you see that the main staircase is actually starting to be cordoned off on the different levels. It's assumed that the main parade is going to be up the main staircase. So traffic will probably be diverted to the lesser staircases for the duration of today's festivities.
Right up the stairs. That takes some guts.
I mean, there is a ramp in the center of it, so
Yeah, but if somebody at the top falls, you wreck the whole parade.
fair.
It's just one of the many dangers of being in a parade.
It looks like the main parade will stop at the clouds based off of where the centers of the festival will be. And the palace is preparing its own thing, probably for the more private and more the guests that are on the list, you know. So when you arrive at the palace, the guards stop you and check off your names on a list to allow you entry. And they actually have an ink stamp that they ask you to hold out your right hand and stamp your hand as you go in to identify you as guests of the king.
What's the stamp look like? Is it like a little smiley face?
It's got a J with a diamond beneath one or right above the swoop up from the J symbol.
Cool.
It's the royal symbol for Jane.
One of the rocket ship, damn it.
Man, I haven't been one of these in over 100 years.
Inside the palace is mostly decorated at this point. You're in a main hall that splits both left and right, as well as doors that lead to an entry point that leads to a staircase going downwards. There are all kinds of flowers and tapestries and banners and things hanging in a muted color palette of blue and white. The king's favorite, or favored colors, I should say.
I guess we could ask the guard where the fountain is.
Yeah.
Also, do they allow dogs in here? Because I've been riding on Brunhild this entire time.
They have allowed you to take your dog into the castle, but they did say that whatever he does is on you to remedy a solution for.
Gotcha.
Did they hand Zippo like a scoop and some plastic bags?
No, but they instructed him that the castle keepers are going to be much too busy caring for the activities around the festival, and impress upon him the need to make sure that he keeps an eye on Brunhild.
Okie dokie. We can either wander around the palace.
They don't say or else, but it's implied.
Gotcha. Okay, well, whenever they're telling me about this, I'll also ask them at the same time about where the fountain for the palace is located.
That would be in the royal gardens. So there are gardens on either side of the castle in some of this green area. You are directed out one of the hallways that lead out to the gardens, which seem to be a maze of hedges and flowers and things like that. You see an area where there's some deer grazing peacefully, some with very fine racks, like large antlers. They seem to be domesticated deer.
That's cool.
They don't shy away from you as you travel through the area.
Do they let me pet them?
I mean, do you go to try?
Yeah, I'll try to pet one.
Yeah. A deer looks at you fearlessly and allows you to come up to it and pet it before it moves on to graze elsewhere.
This is the best place ever.
The fountain's fairly large. It's larger and in the shape of a diamond than it's larger than the Florence District fountains. And by diamond I mean not like a cut gem diamond, but like
Baseball
four
diamond.
corners. No, not a baseball diamond, like four corners diamond.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because, I guess a baseball diamond is technically... Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, four corners.
Okay, I'll, once we get to the fountain, I'll dip my hand in and my head and holler out in Aquan for the water elemental.
You were met with a bubbling silence.
Okay. I'll be like, look, buddy, I can get you back to the rest of your parts. I have 5 of you collected in one area and 1 to pick up on the way back. You could be whole again to get out of here.
The rest of the group watches as you talk to the fountain.
It always amazes me when he does this.
How much of Zippo is currently submerged?
Just his mouth. And I guess one ear.
But that's got to be
listen.
like at least 50% of his body, right?
It's like he's leaning over with his feet dangling, like yeah. So you can make a perception check if you're really trying hard to see if you can hear anything. But
Okay. 17.
You don't detect any Aquan sounds. Just the normal bubbling of a fountain.
Must not be in this one.
Oh yeah, they said there was more gardens, so let's go to the other fountain then, since it isn't in this one.
Okay. You
Or
wander.
maybe it's already died. You have to bring it back to life by CPR. You should jump in there and give it mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
I'll check the other fountain first.
So there, you you searched the gardens on this side and the other side for about 45 minutes, and that was the only fountain.
I don't understand. Where else could it be at in the palace then? Is there any other places that like have a lot of water in the palace? Is there like a royal bathtub that's humongous?
Well, sorry, but Zippo, did it say it had 7 parts, or that it was?
It never disputed me when I said it had 7 parts. So
Right. I
wouldn't
guess.
know.
Right, exactly. I guess what I'm wondering is maybe it was put around in the other fountains, but there are only 6 parts.
does it make any sense though? Because if there was more than because all the pieces have like specific power to them and like how they make the fountains react. So like they couldn't have split certain pieces up, I don't think.
Think about it this way: what's easier to carry around, 6 pieces or 7? Because the people who did this were too lazy to make a proper magic fountain. It
That's
just
true.
hijacked some water spirits to do it. So I don't
That
think
is
they
true.
do it the hard way.
Well, the only way to find out is go get that 6th piece and toss it in there, and if it forms, there's only 6. If it doesn't, we're still missing a piece. So off to do that, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, what if the water elemental numbering system is different than ours?
That's true.
Maybe there are 11 pieces.
Look, I had a hard time
This is space
finding
5.
6 or 7.
All right.
Well,
So what's the plan here?
Assuming nobody stops me and I can get one person to carry a barrel, I'm gonna go get the 6th piece and toss it in there.
Well, we're in the palace. Should we take our bearings and see if there's any like weak spots that a would-be assassin might be able to sneak in?
Yeah. Also, I
Yeah.
want to point out: did they check the barrels when we came in?
They did, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because that's really like. Don't get me wrong.
Just marching in.
I mean, I kind of glossed over it because time and
Yeah, I got you.
but they like did a full account of what you guys had inventory wise.
Okay, yeah, got you. That's what because whenever we slipped past it, it came into my mind. I was like, did they really just let us walk through, not suspicious of anything?
I'll put it this way: if you weren't on Marius's list, I would have described in detail the amount of trouble and shit they gave you. But because you're on Marius's list, it was just they let you in and they looked at what you had and then continued on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
We're on the list. Nobody's going to question the amount of knives that we have with us.
fair enough.
I mean, the closer you get to the throne room, the more that will not be true. But just getting into the castle, you're given a certain amount of amenity.
So before this thing starts up, you guys want to go put a water elemental together?
well, I feel like I'm gonna stick around and kind of look into things here, but good luck to you, buddy.
Okay, that's 1 out. Who's in?
I think I'm going to stay at the castle. So.
Okay, it's 2 out.
Like, how many barrels do you need?
I only need 1 barrel because it's only 1 piece.
Okay,
Well,
Jordan, you gonna carry a barrel?
I could carry the barrel for you.
Perfect.
Just roll this one down the stairs. Belzian just puts it down.
Quickly before they finish roping the stairs off.
Blood speed.
All right. Is anybody else going with
Hey,
Zippo?
actually, I just had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding of the parade, does it start down in the lows?
Yes.
Ulrich takes Roger aside and says, "Hey, so I'm gonna just go see, because I just had a real crazy thought. What if the parade is like a whole bunch of insurrectionists and their whole plan is to kind of bum rush the door?"
Would require a staggering amount of coordination.
I mean, you and I both know they've got a lot of coordination. And if they got people on the inside, which seems to be the case.
I mean, what can we do about that then?
Or, I mean, I would say if one of us is here and one of us is down there, if we can figure it out in time, we could at least alert, and then we could tell the guards up here, hey, close the door. Simple as that, right?
Fair enough. I can throw caltrops at the top of the ramp if
Yeah,
the guards don't stop
actually,
me.
I'm not going to lie. It's what Belgian said about throwing the barrel down the stairs that made me think of it, because, I just a little kind of dark thought came in my mind of rolling the barrel down through the parade. And I thought, oh, what if there was something we got to do today?
What a terrible thought.
I mean, you know how I feel about clowns, right?
That's an ominous silence there. You know how I feel about
Out of
clowns,
character,
right?
I didn't actually hear that last word.
Oh.
Oh, clowns. You know how I feel about clowns, right?
Clowns.
It makes it even better.
I just saw Roger go like this.
Yeah, I saw it too. It's like,
Honk.
all right, well, anyway, why don't I go down? I can carry the barrel for the little guy. Also just make sure things don't go sideways there, and then I'll look into the parade down there. See if I can maybe see Shadow in it.
Yeah, and I could stay up here and keep an eye out. Keep an ear on the guards.
Yeah. All right. Good news, Zippo. I'm going to carry your barrels.
I only need one barrel, and I already have Jordan.
All right, well, I'm going to carry you on my shoulders. How's that sound?
Oh, no. I guess that's fine.
Hey, little buddy, I didn't really mean it when I said I was going to hurt you.
Yeah, I got that. You wouldn't really have a chance anyway. You haven't seen the things I've picked up in my training here lately?
I'm sure. You are mighty, you are a dragon, I get it.
Indeed.
Yarvik, what's your plan?
I think I will stay up here at the palace. It sounds like we have enough of a crew going down for that last barrel. I'm going to stay up here around the palace, just kind of blend in with the scenery and see what I see.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start with the most interesting. Not that anybody is least interesting, but I really want to see what happens with this water elemental, don't you?
Very much so.
It might. So I guess I want to know what the intentions are for the castle stairs. So Roger, you're staying up here. You're going to be looking at the area and like inspecting for like weaknesses and things like that, or anything out of the ordinary. Is that the case?
I assume that I remember enough of the plans that we showed to Marius
Mm-hmm.
that I can go and at least investigate the places where the plans said they were going to attack.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
and the
Go ahead.
gaps in the guard patrol that were identified and such.
So the guard patrol was on the walls down by the city gate, as well as the walls up here at the top area of the palace. The king's chambers, the king's living area, you do not have access to, even though you have access to the palace. And the throne room is currently not open for anyone to enter at the moment, as it's being prepared for the ceremonies. So, you could go up onto the palisade and like take a look around and see what's going on up there, if that's what you like.
We'll get up on the parapets and look at stuff.
Okay. Belzian, I anticipate you want to go to the library.
Yeah.
You're directed to go down the steps that are directly opposite of that main entryway that I said went down. So it'll be a series of steps, and you go down into a grand library filled with books, more books than you've ever seen in your whole life. You could fit your monastery 20 times in this room.
Wow.
Yarvik, are you staying in the gardens? Are you mingling with people, trying to stay out of the way?
I'm going to try to stay out of the way. I'm going to see if we get lucky with either one of our other single traveler individuals. You never know where one of these guys is going to pop up.
Okay, so you're going to be asking about Bert and let me bring up that sheet. Montgomery Daytaker, Bert Chesk, and Montgomery Daytaker.
Yep, just casually mingling amongst the aristocracy here, because Yarvik could just fit right in. It's fine.
Okay. So we'll I'm gonna have Roger do an investigation, just because you're investigating the area there, and that's what you'll be doing. Yarvik, I'll have you do a I guess technically that's you're gathering information. Shade, what do you normally use for gathering information these days?
Investigation would be
investigation as well. Okay, fair enough.
But you could also do like persuasion or investigation that utilizes your charisma modifier.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Yarvik? Would you be kind of doing an investigation, or like using a persuasion type thing, or
would it be perception? Would it fall under?
Perception is more about keeping an watch for. So, like, if you didn't ask anybody, then you could use perception.
That's more kind of what I was thinking.
Okay,
about.
That's fine then. Let's do perception. Okay, cool. So that's where we'll leave the castle group for now. Let's see what the other group does. So you guys head down past the clouds. This staircase will remain open because it's the only one up to the palace. But the rest of the staircases are now closed at this point. So you'll have to go down one of the side ones, like this one here.
All right.
Okay, we go around here and pick up mean water elemental part.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So how do you just like shape water and like unceremoniously plop it into the barrel, or like are you trying to talk to it?
I'll try to talk to it first. Like, I'll put my hand in the be like, all right, if you want to come and get reunited with the rest of your parts, you got to get in this barrel, bud.
Of
I have
course,
no other way to
fucking
transport
do.
you. Yeah, of course you do. Hey, look, it's either this Or you can sit here and wish that you had taken me up on my nice opportunity to reconnect you.
He broils as you I guess I should say it broils as you scoop it up and put it into the barrel.
Sweet. All right, boys, let's go make a water elemental. It'd be faster if we went down the side steps on the other side, because then we could go straight down and be right beside the fountain that has the other 4 or 5 pieces in it.
It's a good idea. That way we don't get stuck in, in case it takes us too long and raids coming by.
Yeah, that too.
So, Zippo, why is it that, I'm a bleeding heart sometimes, but what is it that interests you so much about the elemental?
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's not a human being.
You don't like us humans?
It's easier to make friends with something that has like a baser instinct than humans who can lie all the time.
Yeah. Where you lie from time to time, don't you?
All the time.
Right.
That's my point. That's my point. Humanoid creatures lie more often than stuff that has like a baser instinct. That's why I trust Brunhild more than I do almost anybody in the party.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And I just thought it'd be really cool to see what a water elemental looks like when it's forming itself back together. That's just information you can't find everywhere else.
It is true. I can't say I've seen this myself.
And if I figure out how it doesn't, maybe one day I can create one myself.
That'd be neat.
Exactly. Then I can complete my dream of getting over the wall and becoming a dragon.
I have no doubt in my mind you're going to achieve that one day. Now, I am curious. You're going to be okay if we need to, separate.
Execute,
What's that?
execute it.
Right, yeah.
If we have to, I can see the reason for it. But I don't assume we will because, assuming that the angry personality doesn't get it, I don't see a reason the other ones will put up a fight. The angry one, the one we just picked up, that guy's kind of just mean. Like, he's mean-spirited. So, like, if he takes over the body, then maybe. But if his, opposite fountain one takes over, we're not have an issue at all. The others are kind of depressed. Like, they didn't really have, as much emotion as these two. So.
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident, though. I'm pretty confident that since I helped it, it'd be nice enough to leave without a fight.
Yeah. As we're walking, Ulrich is just going to kind of keep an eye out to see if he sees any shocks of red hair.
All right.
And beards in particular.
Yeah, one thing that you'll note that Carl didn't describe is that he was wearing a mask. So it looks like Carl actually got a look at this guy's face.
Right, which the Mithro brothers had as well, right?
No, they said that he never removed his. In fact, they actually noted that it was strange that he did that. That he never revealed his face.
Okay.
Which is why they couldn't really give you much, unfortunately. All right, I guess give me a perception for that.
Sure thing.
It is rather slow going as the streets begin to cramp and crowd more and more. Transporting a barrel in a crowd under normal circumstances is a little tough, but when it's during an event, it's an outright slog. That being said, looking around, there's so many people around. It's kind of hard to really get more than a glimpse of any one person as people kind of swim and swarm around you, going to and from or standing and talking to each other or whatnot. Nothing really suspicious catches your eye, as far as you can tell. And you know, you've grown pretty accustomed to like looking for things that are out of the ordinary, that the ordinary tends to melt away. So you feel pretty confident about your look around.
Right.
And by about this time, you reach the base of the stairs adjacent to the Four Hounds Tavern. And the fountain is spraying highly in front of you. By the way, the building that is being splashed by water continuously from the wind is Four Hounds. So it's now a wet dog.
Good. Dirty, no good, no dog allowing tavern. Can't trust a place that don't allow dogs.
I mean, surely they have their reasons, right? I mean,
Do you think that the guards would raid that place if we possibly spit a might be true or not rumor that it was the base for terrorists?
why would we want them?
They don't allow dogs into their establishment that's named after dogs. That's a crime in and of itself.
Zippo. Just think of it this way. We don't want them to needlessly spend their energies on something fake when we know of a real threat. However real it is.
I mean, like after this thing was over. Like after we solved this problem now before we left the city.
Right, but I mean, imagine if I spread a lie about you, Zippo, and that lie resulted in your death or you losing all your money and Brunhilde being taken away from you because of my lie. That'd be a pretty mean thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but that place doesn't allow dogs, so it's kind of okay.
No, but I think that the problem there is it's not okay because maybe they have allergies to dogs.
Maybe we'll get lucky and the water will spray it so much like they'll get a leaking ceiling.
All right, I mean that might just be the case.
That would be nice. Constant drip. Hey, let's go put the rest of this water elemental together.
Well, can't wait to meet your friend.
I can't either. I want to see what it's like with all its pieces together and not just individually.
The barrel seems to be tugging at Ulrich to keep moving. Like you feel like the weight is leaning toward the fountain impatiently.
Well, here we go.
Woot woot.
Oh, that's a great book you've opened there.
All right. So, I assume you approach the fountain and dump it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Much like before, the waters begin to swirl, but this time instead of just swirling within the pool, they begin to rise. The fountain itself that's spraying water at this point is spraying water so hard that it shatters and crumbles, and the water immediately, once it shatters, begins to swarm up and form two pillars, and then the pillars kind of arch and then rise and then split again and then rise into the shape of a somewhat humanoid shape as a gargantuan water elemental stands before you, towering over the square and looking around.
And Aqua screams to it.
It sighs and says, I'm free.
Yes, my friend. Now you can leave the city forever and never have to look back at this awful place.
The square has grown quite silent, and all you hear is the dripping water as the spray settles and the elemental looks around at the crowded square, all eyes on it. And then the crowd begins to scream and run. And we're going to end session there. Yeah, there was only 6 pieces. There were 7 fountains, but only 6 of them had them. So you could have done it yesterday, but it works out great. It's great. And that wasn't like it was just the details lined up in a way that you ended up, putting 2 and 2 together based off of the information you got that all of the fountains had it, and you were mostly right.
Yep.
So this may be a good thing. Try and swing this so that they delay the parade.
Yep.
So we'll figure out how to wade through this next issue in this next session, in session 18, which will be our first session of December, which will be in 2 weeks. That'll be the 14th, and our second to last session for the year. So everybody out there in Twitch land, thank you for joining us. We will see you in 2 weeks around 7:30. And players, thanks for being here. This was a blast, and I really had a lot of fun. I hope you did too.
Very good. GG. Thanks for playing.
GG, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, Lord.